The core of you is Shivatva, the core of me is Shivatva, the core of the tree is Shivatva, the core of the bird is Shivatva, the core of every stone, every drop of water, milk, honey, living, non-living, the core of everything is Shivatva. So how does one achieve Shivatattva? By practicing the techniques which are given in the Agamas, and the most important element, that is the grace of Shiva. No matter how hard you try, no matter what Hatha Yoga that you practice, if there is no grace of Guru and Shiva, in our tradition, Guru himself is considered Shiva. That is why we say Gurur Upayaha. Without the grace of Guru, without the grace of Shiva, Shivatva cannot be achieved. Sri Shambho Ramanatha, welcome to another session of Shiva Purana. In the last series, we saw that Shiva is getting married to Sati, and Brahma himself, the grandfather, had taken the proposal of Shiva to Sati, and Daksha, being the son of Brahma, had agreed, and there was festivities all around. Now, cut to Narada, who has the freedom to travel to any part of this many multiverses, is visiting Vishnu. He goes to Vishnu and invites Vishnu to the wedding of Shiva. And also, a very small, funny episode happens here. And he looks at Vasuki coiled around, on which Vishnu is resting on the milky ocean, Kshira Sagara, and asks him, when will you find a bride to fill this space up? And he points to the space near the feet of Vishnu. Upon which Vishnu replies saying, your father, the great Brahma himself, is single, so it is better that he gets married before I do. So what we are here to understand is that Shiva is the first of the Trinity to get married. Both Brahma and Vishnu are without their Shaktis. So the first Shakti that is getting completed in the Trinity of the Hindu pantheon, if you want to call it that, is that of Shiva. And I have always equated Shiva's Shakti as Ichha, Brahma's Shakti as Jnana, and Vishnu's Shakti as Kriya. So the first Shakti is Ichha Shakti, the Shakti of desire, the Shakti of intention. One must have a desire or an intention to achieve something. Then comes the Shakti of Jnana, or to know everything there is about the fulfillment of your intention, the Jnana Shakti. Then you work on it, the Shakti of Vishnu, which is the Kriya Shakti, or the Shakti of action. So first is the intention, then is the Jnana, the knowledge, the wisdom, and then the action. This is how one must proceed. Of course, Shiva is joined by the single Vishnu and the very singular Brahma. Now the question arises, remember, this is all said in the way of a story that even an 8-year-old kid can understand. So they all gather at Kailasa, and Shiva has to be adorned as the groom. He has to be groomed, for which women are required, because they have the art of decoration and makeup and making something beautiful. They say give a woman a house and she will make it home. Give woman a normal human being and she'll make him up, deck him up to look beautiful. So Shiva has to be made into a beautiful groom. He has to be groomed. Then it is decided that Indra and his consort Sachi will take care of this. Sachi and the consorts of the other Devanu Devatas, who we call as the lesser of the Hindu deities. The major deities are the Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. And there are deities who take care of various tattvas and various parts and various departments of this nature who have different portfolios to fulfill. Here, Indra and Shachi come, and Shachi and her friends start taking care of Shiva, and they make him look very beautiful. He is decked up like a royal king. It is the first time that any of these gods and goddesses are able to witness Shiva not as a Vairagi, not as a yogi, not clad in charamambara, made up of skin of snakes and leopards and tigers, but decked up in the finest silk. They say Shiva is a sight to be remembered forever and ever. Also, mind you that these minor deities have the facility of keeping their previous births memories alive. So each one of them get promoted in subsequent manvantaras. So they already know Shiva, they know who they are and where they belong. So that part is very clear to them. On the other hand, on earth, Sati is also being decked up, as is mentioned in Sola Shringar. Shringar meaning decoration or ornamentation, Sola meaning 16. There are 16 different ways of bridal finery. Even today, this tradition is followed in North India. I will not want to go into what these 16 are, but I am interested in telling you that after marriage, the women are expected as a tradition to keep 5 pearls called Muttu in Kannada. Therefore, these women are called Muttaides, meaning those who possess 5 Aidu Muttus, pearls, the possessor of 5 pearls. What are these 5 pearls? The pearl of the dot in the center of the eyebrow, the earrings, dangling earrings, the nose ring, the toe ring, and the Mangala Sutra, the Tali as it is called. So all married women are expected to have these 5 things. That is why they are called Muttaides in our part of the world, in Karnataka and in Kannada. So when she is decked up in her finest bridal wear, Sati's mother, Virini, is overcome, thinking about the future of Sati, saying, "My dear princess, you have been brought up in a palace, you have been given utmost luxury. How will you survive in that extremely cold area of Kailasa, where it snows half the year, living amongst ghosts and goblins and bhutas and paishachis and whatnot? How will you stay there forever?" Upon which Sati replies to her mother saying, "Don't fret, mother. I have completed the Nanda Vrata, one of the most difficult vratas there is. I will be able to carry out the pativrata very easily. Look at the word used here. Every Indian woman by tradition carries throughout her life a vrata called pativrata. What is pativrata? Pativrata is to see Shiva himself in your husband. Who else will land up in your life if not for God Almighty, the divine Shiva himself? Shouldn't it is also a beautiful technique? Shouldn't it be so wonderful and so beautiful if everyone were to see their husband as Shiva and every man be able to see his wife as Sati herself? Remember, God is incarnating as your other half. When you achieve your divinity, the divine feminine will end herself as the other half in your life. And you will end up with your significant half when she has completed her divine journey. That is why pativrata. She says, my pativrata will ensure that I feel no hardships, no vagaries of nature, no cold, none of these grotesque, macabre Shiva Ganas will be able to bother me, because my single-minded focus will be on my Swami, on my Natha. Shiva. Shiva. Just Shiva. Even when she has finished saying how she is going to behave in Kailasa, great drums, beagles, huge windpipes are being blown, and descending from the sky one sees Shiva along with his innumerable Ganas, Devanu Devatas, the deities, the demigods, all descending from the sky. Shiva is sitting on his bull. You know, Nandi, the bull, is his vehicle, which also symbolizes that the most dangerous domesticated animal known to man is the choice of Shiva's ride. Compare this with the Western way of treating bulls, where they have bullfights and they kill unnecessarily young bulls to satisfy an audience. Here, Shiva himself is riding on the most dangerous domesticated animal there is. They arrive, the wedding itself takes place, and there is an elaborate description of how the wedding happens. I don't want to get into all these details because this is more a mystical discourse than anything else. The Panigrahi ritual happens where Shiva holds the young, nimble hands of Sati on his hand, supported by the father Daksha at the bottom and covered by the mother Virini on top. This ritual is followed even today in every Hindu wedding, called Panigrahi. This is where the man takes the woman's hand and says, I will take care of you. This was done, and all the Devanu Devatas, all the demigods, all the deities, the Yaksha, Gandharva, Kinnaradi, Kimpurusha, humans, animals, everybody were happy to see the holy union of Shiva and Sati. After which it is said that Shiva and Sati went around the fire, as is even done today, called the Saptapadi. And the way they were going around, it was impossible to see who was leading and who was at the back. Imagine, a fast moving object in a circle, the two objects going around in a circle. You will not know if you are at a distance which one is going in the front, which one is going at the back, if they are moving very fast from your fixed point of view. And it is my own interpretation that since nobody was able to determine who was leading whom, the ritual of Saptapadi, that is 7 circles around the fire, has a unique feature of the first 4 circles where the man leads and the second 3 circles where the woman leads. Did you know this? That the first 4 circles around the fire, the holy fire of matrimony, the man leads, and the last 3 circles the woman leads. Because we don't know whether it was Shakti who was leading or whether it is Shiva who was leading. What a beautiful way to see the union of Shiva and Shakti. There are no leaders, they are just equals. So this is my own experience, my own interpretation, not from the scriptures. When Brahma himself is the officiator, the wedding must be the most auspicious of them all, isn't it? Of course, the wedding is done properly, and when it is over, all of them, including Shiva, ask Brahma, who is the officiator of this wedding, to request for a boon or to ask for a wish, or a dakshina as it is called. Brahma, for the Loka Kalyana, for the benefit of the entire humanity, asks that at every Kalyana Vedi or the Vivaha Vedi, in every consecration of holy matrimony of marriage, Shiva and Shakti be present. Tatastu. Okay. So every marriage in India, in Bharat, whether it is of a Brahmin or a Kshatriya, a Vaishya or a Shudra, if they are going around the holy fire, then remember that it is the Shiva and Shakti, the original Shiva and Sati, who are going around in the bodies, the very bodies of the people who are getting married. They are the fuel that keeps the union between male and female burning. They are the yin and yang of this universe, which is embodied in every man and woman. Every male is Shiva, every female is Shakti, by this one example set by Lord Brahma's boon. We all forget who we are because we get stuck in this mundane world, losing sight of our own reality. Of course, after their wedding, there are many games which are played, which I interpret as getting to know each other, because it is a kind of an arranged marriage, even though they're inseparable. It's kind of an arranged marriage, and those games usually bring together 2 bodies, 2 hearts, 2 minds, and 2 souls. Here, I would like to mention just one game because it is important for us to understand what Shiva wanted to communicate to this world and what the world wanted to hear and what Sati herself wished for. So they play a game called Finding the Ring in a pot of milk, which is even today played by newly married couples in India. It is the first time that in front of a lot of people in public, but under the cloak of milk, the young hands of the husband and wife touch each other, electrifying their entire bodies and beings. So a ring is dropped and both of them have to search within the pot of the milk, and whoever finds the ring is declared the winner. The first time they try, it is said that both of them find the ring simultaneously and they bring it out and say, hey, both of us found it. Well, they say this won't work. There are no victors, but we need to have a victor, a clear leader here. So do it again. So the ring is searched again, and guess who gets the ring this time? It is Shakti. The victory of Shakti is willed by Shiva. Because he is free, he knows that Shakti is nothing but manifestation of Shiva's will. It is the knowing of Shiva Tattva that is Shakti. It is the action of Shiva which is Shakti. He is not going to be leading anything. He is not going to be neither a leader nor a follower. He is just going to be Shiva. The world wants to know who is the leader. And when Shakti shows that she has won the ring, everybody says, oh, Shakti is the winner. Shiva, you have to now be forever in the Vasha of Shakti. The word Vasha is very important. The word Vasha, Sanskrit word Vasha, in English means willingly submitted to Shakti. Even though it feels like it is Shakti who is controlling Shiva, it is Shiva's will that she is in control. What a beautiful message shown to us all by this simple story. The Shaktis are but willful submission of Shiva so that they feel they are in control. Shiva agrees. So be it. Tatastu. You want the world to think that you are in control? So be it. So Shiva willfully agrees. And there are a lot of games. The other one I don't want to go into. Shiva and Shakti make their home at the icy heights of Kailasa. As you know, we are taking some of our disciples to Kailasa this year. Those who are interested can contact Mohima. She will be facilitating. All these games, the energies are lodged there, even today in Kailasa, because that is the power that all these billions and millions of people over a long period of time, many yugas have submitted to Mount Kailasa and made it the center of this universe. At Kailasa, naturally, Shiva is always in a meditative mode. He is sitting Gate Gate Paragate Buddhaswaha. He is forever lost in Loka Kalyana, in the wellness of this world, and his single-minded focus is how to make this world Shivamaya. Sati is lost in Shiva. She is already Shivamayi. A very long, undisclosed time passes in this state. The Shiva is lost in Loka Kalyana and Sati is lost in Shiva. Enter Narada again. Narada comes to Kailasa, Narayana, Narayana, Shri Shambho Ramanatha. He sees that his arrival has gone unnoticed because Shiva, Sati and all the Shiva Ganas are lost in their meditation. Wow! Narada thinks, what a beautiful way of existence to be forever in the meditative mode. I do not want to disturb. And for the first time chants the Shadakshari mantra, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, and leaves Kailash. The moment Om Namah Shivaya is uttered and Narada has disappeared from the vicinity of Kailasha, both Shiva and Sati are awakened, jolted even. What happened? Sati is asking Shiva, why did we lose our meditative state? Why did we come back to this state of what we call as the state of Jagrita or the awakened state on this earth? Shiva laughs. Your question is very beautiful, my dear Sati. You are asking why divine beings such as myself and you have breaks in their meditation as if they have no control over their meditation. The answer is simple, my dear Sati. When a bhakta comes calling with his entire existence pouring into the deity has to wake up and light the bhakta's innermost Shiva Tattva, transferring the Jyoti from Shiva to the bhakta. That transfer jolts us. What a beautiful explanation of the methodology by which the Paramajyoti, the Sanatana Jyoti of Shiva gets transferred into innumerable Siddha Purushas, into innumerable Rishis, into innumerable Nathas, into innumerable Shiva Tulya, Shiva Tattva receivers. If you connect to the Shiva Tattva with your entire total existence, when you are no more but have poured yourself into the Shiva, even the Parashiva Tattva, the Rudra, is shaken and transfers his eternal illumination onto you. Sati, not to be undone by this explanation, she says, so the Bhakta has greater Shakti than you yourself. Is it? Is the Bhakta possessing a greater Shakti than God himself? Very valid question, isn't it? Shiva laughs again and says, it is not a question of Shakti, my dear Sati. It is a question of Bhakti. Bhakti is not a Shakti. Bhakti is a totally different phenomenon. It has got nothing to do with Shakti. The omnipotent God has to submit himself to the Bhakta's will to be united with him. if your will to be united with Shiva is total, even Shiva has to submit himself. How does a bhakta achieve this state? What is this state called? Asks Sati. This state is called mokshatva. This is a state of mukti. When an individual knows that he is the localized, illuminated Shivatattva, part of this eternal Sanatana Jyoti, the beam of illumination, he is in the state of moksha. He is liberated. Always told you, Satori, enlightenment, liberation. The sadhaka or the bhakta, how does he or she achieve this moksha? Shiva, please tell me. See, Sati is asking all these questions for the benefit of lowly mortals, humans who want to achieve the great Shivatattva. How does one sadhaka, how does a bhakta become immersed in this Shivatva? Tell me. What is this Shivatva? Shivatva is the essence of every being. It is the very core, says Shiva. The core of you is Shivatva, the core of me is Shivatva, the core of the tree is Shivatva, the core of the bird is Shivatva, the core of every stone, every drop of water, milk, honey, living, non-living, the core of everything is Shivatva. What are the means of achieving Shivatva? Twofold. One is the set of jnana, wisdom and tools which are given, tools of meditation which are given in the Agama Shastras. Shiva gives a total of 96 Agamas, out of which 92 we are very clear about, 10 Dvaita Agamas, 18 Dvaita Agamas, 64 Advaita Agamas and 4 Agamas which are not to be revealed to a non-sadhaka, non-initiated Natha. So the 64 what you call Advaita Agamas are called Bhairava Agamas. They are non-dualistic. Some call them monistic. They deal with something called the Paratattva, which I will be able to explain to you once we are beyond a certain conscious level. The second are called the Rudragamas. They are 18 in number, like I said. They are considered to be non-dual or mono-dual, non-dual duality or mono-dualistic agamas. They are called in Sanskrit para and apara. Then there are 10 agamas called the Shiva Bhairava Shastras, Rudra Shastras and Shiva Shastras. Shiva Shastras are 10 in number and they are considered to be dualistic and they deal with something called apara, wisdom. We are not going into the details, I just thought I will share with you. So how does one achieve Shiva Tattva? By practicing the techniques which are given in the Agamas, and the most important element, that is the grace of Shiva. If Shiva himself is not happy with your process of meditation, if he is not happy with the way you are practicing, So with these words, let us have a small meditation, prayer on Shiva Tattva descending upon each one of us through Gurur Upaya, through our respective Gurus. Dhyana Moolam Gurur Murtihi, Puja Moolam Gurur Padam, Mantra Moolam Gurur Vakyam, Moksha Moolam Gurur Kripa. Shri Shambho Ramanatha, Shri Shambho Ramanatha. With this, we will end today. If you have any questions, I will take it. Yeah, your question is, why is Daksha shown as a villain? Why is Daksha, the father of Sati, shown as a villain? Well, we haven't come to that point yet, but when we do, I will be able to explain to you the whole Leela, the whole game that Shiva, Sati, Shakti, Daksha, Brahma, Vishnu, the 33 Devanu Devatas, the 33 crore they say, but 33 varieties, types of Devanu Devatas are playing with us, or we are playing with ourselves. So we will be able to see the entire cosmology in action, and we should find our own place in this cosmology and engage ourselves in involution so that we can go back to the source, to the Godhead, to the Shivatva that we truly are in essence. We must go back to our nature, our true nature. We will explain it when we come to that point. Okay? With this, we will end today. Shri Shambho Ramanatha, Shri Shambho Ramanatha. Alak Adesh, Alak Adesh.